So we're back again with Awkward Author Book Reviews, and today I wanted to talk about The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. Stiefvater? I actually have no idea how to pronounce her name. Um, so I've read a couple of her books now, and I guess out of them, if I had to recommend any, top trumps would always be Scorpio Races. But Shiver was also really, really good. I haven't read anything past the first book, and I know it's a series, but honestly, the first book just worked so well singularly that I didn't want to continue. Like, I didn't want to ruin the ending that had already been achieved. Um, Raven Boys, funny enough though, so Raven Boys was actually my first introduction to Maggie Stiefvater, and I love her style of writing. She is a phenomenal author. Like, the way she wields prose is deadly, and it's so elegant and so gorgeous and so poetic, that like her books, reading them is definitely an experience. It's really worthwhile. But I would say out of the three I mentioned, Raven Boys is probably lowest for me, but from what I've heard, the rest of the series is really good. Um, to be fair, Raven Boys does have a like definite series feel to it, where like unlike Shiver felt like, okay, this is the be all end all and I don't want anything else because it just encapsulated itself so well. This one, you feel like you could go along and like read the next story and want to know what's going on. The protagonist, Blue, was interesting. I mean, like, she wasn't super remarkable. The boys were a lot more engaging and flawed and fascinating, which again differs from some of her other stuff, but still, like, the prose is flawless. Um, and the introduction to ley lines is really fun. Um, it's just not something you see all the time, so it's always just fun to see a different take like that. There's a good undercurrent of mystery through the entire thing, and it definitely is one of those books where you're like, all right, I could read this again. Go down for that. So yeah, I mean, if you haven't read any of Maggie Stiefvater's work, I seriously recommend Scorpio Races first. It is always top of my list. But Raven Boys looks to be a good series, and the first book was a great start to it. I read it quickly, it was engaging, it was enjoyable, and like any of her books, the prose does like linger with you for long after. So yeah, thanks.